Thank you so very much for being here today with me, Mr. Minehart. I have just a few questions, so let's get started.
Okay.
You've taught several types of classes in the past years, from AP classes, AP history, to regular history, to English and theology. Which specific course has been your favorite to teach throughout the years?
Probably my favorite course to teach has been the History Human Thought classes, because those are the ones that we get to go on the field trips for, which is great. It's a totally different learning environment, which I think everyone likes. It's an area that I think a lot of students are really interested in, but don't really get a great chance to really experience that. Gulick is kind of a school that we don't have a lot of diversity, so in that class we kind of explore diversity among different groups, and it's very discussion based, lots of readings and discussion of ideas and things, and I like that type of class where we get to talk a lot and discuss ideas, and everyone feels free to kind of put their ideas out. And the nice thing is it incorporates both history and current events, so it kind of splices a lot of things together, which I like.
This year is the first year since several years that you've taught AP European history. How has that gone for you, and how much extra work has it been to try to bring up a new curriculum?
It definitely has been a little bit more work than normal. With the AP classes, you have to submit a syllabus to AP Central, which is the group that coordinates all the AP classes for the whole world. And the syllabus for AP European history ended up being like 25 pages long, so I had spent a good amount of time getting that ready. And then it's been so long since I've done the class that a lot of the old materials that I used before are stuck on floppy disks, or they're on transparencies, and so I've had to go back and redo things, toss this out, try and find new online substitutions for some of the readings. So it's been definitely a work in progress in terms of trying to get everything set up for the classes it's where they need it to be at and stuff. But it's been fun. At the same time, the class is great. The students are phenomenal, and it's almost scary, the intelligence that's being whipped around in that class. So it's definitely challenging. It's a lot of fun. I have to be on my toes in there, which is great for me. And so far, the work has been worth it. Everyone, I think, is doing well and learning all this stuff from the class, so it's been worth it.
Is this a course for you that you want to continue teaching?
Oh, definitely. I mean, if I'm putting this much work into it for this year, and they say, oh, you're not going to teach again, I'd be really irritated.
Yes.
Because it's a lot to do for this class, and then just say, okay, well, if you get to teach again in like 10 years, oh, I'd be mad. So
yeah, I can feel it.
Hopefully we get to do it again.
All that. You also coach boys varsity soccer, as you also played for the Gulick High School team in 1988. How do you feel this year went for your team?
I thought that this year's team showed a lot of character. It was by far a year that we had to show a lot of resiliency. I think with injuries and illnesses and just a lot of, I would say, weird things with the team this year, they had to show that they could cope with all of these problems, and they did. They did just a phenomenal job with it. And their work ethic and not their hearts, that they never gave up one iota in any game that we played all season, was phenomenal. Because I know as the season progressed, for some of them it weighed heavy on them, but there was just always the attitude that there was any game we were in we could win. The team never gave up, and so I mean, like we might have lost a fair amount of games, but the team was by no means like a team of losers. They were winners in my book, and how well that they approached the season. So
a very exciting year this year. In what area of teaching or coaching are you most passionate about?
Both of them, because again, they're both simply different extensions of the same idea. Coaching is teaching on a field, and teaching sometimes is just like coaching. You're trying to get the best out of your player or your student. You're trying to get them the right skills that they need to go on, whether it be skill on the soccer field or whether it's skill in the classroom, skill in real life. We try and get them to be thinkers and doers and leaders in all those areas. So really, they're all the same thing, just packaged a little bit differently, but they're all fun in different areas. You can do different things. And the big thing is like to try and treat everything as a way to have fun and learn at the same time. And If you can do both those things, then it's easy to be passionate about it.
Mm-hmm. And many students can attest that you're successful at both.
Thank you.
Who is the most influential figure in your life that perhaps led you to become a teacher?
When I decided to be a teacher in college, I thought back to high school. That's the most closest time period, to when I made my decision. And just when I decided to go into history, it was because I had a history teacher named Mr. Finn, who was just phenomenal. At Gull Lake, they have the Ed Finn Excellent Social Studies Award that they give out to the senior every year, who the whole department thinks has done the best job of demonstrating his ideals. So to me, that was kind of a big thing. I thought about him, and I took every class that he had and just would sit there and soak up the things. And I still tell some of the same stories that he told me in class, so that's how well I remember him, because that was a long time ago. So he just, because he was fun, he made the class interesting. Like I say, he told great stories that you could just kind of remember, and they helped flesh out everything that you were learning. And just funny way, he was a coach too, so I think that wasn't a soccer coach, but I think just the fact that he was a coach I thought was interesting. And so when I did go back and become a history teacher, it was kind of a natural segue to do coaching and teaching and try and emulate him as much as I could. So I kind of likened my style to what he did in the classroom.
So you would say it was around college, though, that you kind of...
not until sophomore year in college. At first I thought I was going to be a huge advertiser in New York City and do that, but this darn math classes got in my way. So went into teaching history.
Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome, Tyler. You did a fantastic job interviewing. Probably one of the best interviews I've ever had.
Thank you. And it was a pleasure interviewing you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.